I'm hearing about some like really legit crazy stuff that's happening right now. Like people just in droves buying things, even stealing things. Like I've heard of people breaking into churches, stealing their paper and cleaning products because they find themselves so desperate for whatever it is that they think they need to have or whatever it is they need. I heard a story the other day about somebody who was in a grocery store holding some chicken. Someone just kind of walked up behind him and snatched it from their hands and moved on their way. Like, seriously, we are living in a society that is in an absolute frenzy. I mean, fear is just absolutely beginning to take over. Now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a media professional. I'm not a politician. Okay, I'm not any of those things. So, like, for me to make any kind of, thoughts or inclinations about what is hype and what is real, what is dangerous in the biology of all of this, and what is dangerous in the way that society has created a fear-based drive for humanity. I do know this, though. In Hebrews 13:16, it tells us to be generous with what we have. Essentially, it's telling us to be givers, to be blessers, that God has blessed us, so we in turn should bless others, that God has given us, so we in turn should give others. That's so counterintuitive right now. Everybody's trying to hoard and stack up and hold on to whatever they can get their hands on. I mean, they're trying to gather up what is needed, or what they perceive is needed, and refuse to be generous with any of it at all. Now, I'm proud of my church. This is going to sound kind of silly, but, and it was a humorous, if you will, post that somebody posted on social media the other day that they were having some bathroom issues, if you will. And like a couple comments down on Facebook, one of my church members said, hey, if you need some toilet paper, let me know. Like, seriously? In a society that's hoarding toilet paper, I got people in my church that are willing to give up some toilet paper. I know that is really absurd when you think about it, but the truth is that is a sincerity. That is an indication of the kind of heart that person has. It's an indication of the kind of heart our church has. Like, we've got to be like that. Like, I know that toilet paper is the new currency, if you will. I'm not trying to make fun, but like, people in droves are clearing shelves of things, breaking into houses and churches to gain or gather things because they're so scared, they're so worried, they're so terrified of what they see as impending doom and disaster, being locked in homes for weeks at a time. Schools are closing down. Now, again, I'm not a politician. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a medical professional. I'm none of those things. But what I do know is that though it isn't completely understandable to me, I'm going to be wise. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to do what is necessary to keep my family protected. I'm going to do what's wise to be safe. I'm going to do what's wise to guard myself and my family from the possibility of infection, from the possibility of what's going on around me. Not just the possibility of infection, but the possibility of the risks and dangers and the people that exist in the scope of things, like the people that exist around me that could really harm, that could really hurt, that could really bring devastation to our lives. But one of the other things, though, is I'm going to be generous, I'm going to be loving, I'm going to be compassionate, I'm going to be kind, I'm going to be giving. If I got something that somebody else needs, I'm going to do my best to give that person what I have that they need. Like, out of the generosity of our heart, of the things that what God has given us. Yeah, instead of using 2 or 3 squares, you might have to use, well, don't use 1 square, but instead of like 4 or 5 squares, you may have to use 2 or 3 squares because you decided to give somebody else something that they needed so desperately. And I mean, it's not toilet paper. I mean, don't get me wrong. It could be meat. It could be vegetables. It could be canned goods. It could be non-perishables. Whatever it is, like, you got to be on point. You got to be focused. You got to make yourself aware of what's going on around you. And if there's something going on around you that requires you to respond, you better respond, man. That's the Christ-like attitude. That's what Jesus would want you to do. And don't be hoarders in this mess that we're in right now. Be givers. Don't clench things to yourself. Act ridiculous, act like fools. I love you, but don't do that. Man, you better step out there. you better do something that's kind. You better do something that's loving. Like, I mean, you reap what you sow, right? You know, culturally, some people call it karma. You know, the Bible talked about it first, though. Like, what goes around comes around. What comes around goes around. You know what I mean? Like if you were kind, if you were loving, you were compassionate. Not that you do it to get, but like when you do something and someone responds in appreciation, you might find what you need later on because you decided to take action in the life of another. You know what I'm getting at, guys? Don't sit idle. Don't sit idle, man. People are scared. Encourage, talk, motivate. Like, even if this sickness invades our society and creates serious issues, there's no reason why you can't continue to speak hope. My daughter Nora very clearly and eloquently put it this way: if I die, I'm going to heaven. Like, she said it just like that. And she overheard a conversation about people getting sick and dying, and she's like, if I die, I'm going to heaven. I'm not scared, Dad. My almost 7-year-old little Nora. Hey, guys, don't be scared. Don't be scared. And even when you are scared, seek help to find hope and strength. And if you see others that are scared, give hope and strength. And for heaven's sake, man, if somebody needs toilet paper and you got it, give them some. I mean, who doesn't want to help their brother or sister have a clean... You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Hey, guys, I love you. 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 I love you so much. Jesus loves you more. Man, I hope you guys are blessed today. I love you. Jesus loves you more. Man, give something. Give something. Give something. And I pray that you're blessed by getting something too. See ya.